Evening, guys. Welcome to another Thursday night live stream at yours truly, Alan Scouser. Well, as you can see, I've adopted a more comfortable position tonight. I must admit, when I was doing it in the back kitchen, it was playing a little bit havoc on my back. So for this week, I've decided to relax in comfort and do it from my bedroom, just lying down. Yeah, don't worry, I won't fall asleep. Yeah, so as I say, it's more comfortable doing it this way. And you may notice a slight difference though with the lights, because the light isn't quite as bright in here as it is downstairs. So just be mindful of that. Yeah. But all right then, guys. So it's good to be back live with you all, and I hope you all had a good week and you bought some good bargains if you've been Blu-ray hunting. I'll just get the comments up, guys. Oh, I always say this before I start: if there's any problems at all with either the sound or the visuals, do let me know, because I don't want to go ahead ranting on, and not knowing that there's some faults, with the live stream. So do let me know, guys, if there's any faults, as I say, either with the sound, or the visuals. Yeah. Okay then, guys. So yeah, it's good to be back in that. And as usual, the subject is going to be a horror. So if you want to talk to your heart's content about any horror films, what you've seen recently. Oh, I've got some. I've got 3 really bad ones here, guys. I mean, really bad. I'm going to show you later on and talk a little bit about. You might have seen them, you might think differently, but they're really bad. Yeah. All right then, guys. So without further ado, we'll just get into the comments and see what we've got in first tonight. And the first one is Fazbear Brothers 2. Hi, Alan. Hope all is well. You okay? Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. Yeah, I finally got rid of that horrible cough, and just get me sense of taste and smell back gradually. And that, oh God, I thought it was never going to end, and that, So, but I brought a bottle of water up anyway, just in case my throat gets a bit dry and that, So, but yeah, oh God, yeah, I thought it was never going to end. That horrendous cold from hell, So so it's good to be sort of like virtually, I'd say 99.9% back to normal again, So and we've got Brian here, Brian Gilson. Hi, Alan, and everyone. Hope you're all well. As I say, Brian, yeah, I'm recovering now from that awful cough and that, but I'm just starting to get my sense of taste and smell back in that. So that's a good thing in that, So I hope you're well as well, Brian, and you've had a good week in that, and you've been watching some good movies. Yeah, nice to see you again anyway. And we've got Kevin here. Hi, Alan, and everyone. Hope you're all well. Yeah, not too bad. Thanks, Kev. Hope you are too, and that, you've been watching some good films and that. Always nice to have you along on a Thursday night. And we've got Jamie Powell here. You okay, Jamie? Thanks for coming along. Yeah. Good evening, Sir Alan. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I haven't had my night sud yet. Well, you never know. There's always a first time for everything, isn't there? Yeah. Good evening, Sir Alan. Hope you and the family are well. Any horror films you're looking forward to? Off the top of my head, not really at the moment. I'm still waiting for that new Salem's Lot, to come to fruition. It's been put off and put off and put off and put off and that, So I'm just wondering to myself, is it ever going to be released at all, But as I was saying before, I've got a couple of real dire Blu-rays here I want to talk about later on. So I hope you've been watching some good films as well, and that, Jamie, and that, So feel free to discuss anything you'd like to recommend and that. Yeah, so nice to see you again. To see you nice. And we've got Brian Gilson again. Really enjoying your book reviews. Oh, thanks very much, Brian. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I've started to do a James Herbert novel review. I've been reviewing all of Jim's books in chronological order. So I'm just about to do The Fluke now. The story about a man who thinks he's a dog, or a dog who thinks he's a man. Well, if you're familiar with the book, you'll know exactly what I mean. Yeah, so that's coming up very, very soon. I've been enjoying reviewing Jim's books and that. Yeah, he's a great influence to me, to take up the writing pen myself and that, So I'm really enjoying him and that. Yeah, well, The Rats as had quite a few views, well, of course that's his number one book and that, that's the book. When you say James Herbert, that's the book that they talk about mostly, The Rats and that, and Laird as well, a sequel and that, then you've got The Main. Well, I'll be doing reviews of them over the next couple of weeks. So I'm really enjoying it. And I'm glad to hear, my reviews are going down well with you people. Kevin's saying, Christmas was bad for us too, Alan. My partner's dad was taken into hospital early on Christmas morning. He's okay now, thank God. I'm sorry to hear that, Kev. Yeah, I really am. Yeah, it wasn't the best of holidays all round this year. And that, I know a lot of people, didn't enjoy the holiday in that. Yeah, so I'm very sorry to hear that. And we got Richard Brown here. Read Red Fluke a couple of years ago. Really enjoyed it. Oh, right. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah. So as I say, the review's coming up very soon of Fluke. Yeah. So yeah, good. Kevin's saying, I got 88 Films Bloody Judge. That's a good one, that, Kev. I think you'll enjoy that one, mate. I haven't seen it yet. And Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism. I love that one. Isn't that the one? I'm sure that was one of the ones that was in the Christopher Lee box set, the Torture Chamber, because his films have had, they could get a little bit confusing as those movies when he made abroad, because they've been released under different titles and that. I know the Bloody Judge is getting released on another different title, and that Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism, I think I've got that one on 88 Films and that. But as I say, it's very confusing because these like foreign movies, they give them all different names and that, and you might think to yourself, oh, I haven't got that, and then think, oh, hang on a minute, I have got it, I've got it under a different title. Yeah. So but those two Christopher Lee box sets were terrible. Oh, and while we're on the subject of box sets, guys, that Peter Cushing Curiosities set. Oh my days, was I disappointed with that? I think I was even more disappointed with that than I was disappointed with the Christopher Lee box sets. The movies were absolutely atrocious, and I mean atrocious. Yeah. So luckily I sold it and that, but oh yeah, I was very, very disappointed with that. One or two of the movies he was hardly in them. So yeah, so very, very disappointed with that one. Richard's saying, I got the horrible Dr. Hitchcock. Great film. Have you seen it, Alan? No, but I'm meaning to see it. Yeah, that's one of the ones I'll be getting. I'll be sending off for maybe within the next week or two. Yeah, I've heard good things about that one. Kevin's saying, yes, Alan, in the Chris Lee box set. I thought it was. Yeah, it is commonly known as Piss in the Pendulum and Blood Demon. Yeah, this is it, you see, Kev, as I was saying before, it just bears out me points. Sometimes they're a bugger for changing the names of some of these foreign horror movies. Talking of foreign horror movies, I just got two Paul Naschy ones that I'm looking forward to. I won't mention what they are, but you'll see them. I'm hoping to do me the end of the month haul next week sometime, so watch out for that. I've got quite a few horror movies to show off. Yeah, so I did have the well, you most probably know, guys, if you've been watching my videos going way back a bit, like back a few months, I did have Paul Naschy collection parts 1 and parts 2, but most of the movies were really dire, but these two particular ones, I've seen trailers of them, and what I've seen I've liked. So I've forked out for them and that, yes. So I'm looking forward to watching them. We've got Gina here. You okay, Gina? Thanks for turning up. Hi, Alan. I finally created my new year. Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Oh, I'll have to start watching that, Gina. Yeah. Yeah. Have you put any new videos on yet? Oh, great stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I wish you the very best of luck with that. Yeah. Fantastic. Kevin is saying, I've got the old Olive Films Dr. Hitchcock. I might get the Radiance film Blu-ray. Yeah. Yeah. Has there any of you guys seen that new Coffin Joe Arrow box set that's come out? It's about 90 bloody quid. Okay, I'm not paying that out. I've had too many disappointments with these box sets, guys. So I think I'd rather get them individual. And one of the trailers, what I've seen of those Coffin Joe, they haven't really bowled me over. So, but I'm just wondering if any of you guys have picked that box set up, the Coffin Joe, the Coffin Joe collection, as pricey as it is. Yeah. So if you have and you've watched any of the movies, feel free to discuss. Yeah. Richard Brown's saying, I love Paul Naschy. A lot of people do. Yeah. Well, the regarded Paul Naschy as the Lon Chaney Jr. I think it was the Spanish Lon Chaney Jr. because he played the Wolfman about 5 times, and that's not to mention all the many other horror movies he made, So oh yeah, he's very, very popular, Paul Naschy. Gina's saying some of the films on the Cushing set are very, very boring. I agree with you, Gina. They are very, very boring. I dozed off. I dozed off 1 or 2 of them, I must admit. Yeah, during one of them, especially that one with about the airline, Oh God, yeah. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I do love a good airline movie, but that one was really pants. It really wasn't that. And I think, I think he was wasted in it. To be quite honest with you, not a patch on his Hammer films. Oh yeah, it was very, very disappointing. Yeah. And we've got Am I Dead Yet? Hey Alan and everyone, you okay? Thanks for turning up tonight. Always nice to see you. Kevin's saying Werewolf versus the Vampire Woman is my favourite. Yeah, as I say, like Paul Naschy movies, they are a little bit of a hit and miss, aren't they? He's made some good ones, but by the same token, he's made some really bad ones. And those 2 box sets, what I got, there were quite a few turkeys in those sets. Let me tell you. Richard Brown saying that Pete Walker box set is supposed to be out soon. Yeah, I'm a great fan of Pete Walker, and although I've got his movies, in individual cases, I think they're on the Redemption label. Nevertheless, I have got my eye on that. It looks a lovely box set, and if the transfers are a step up from the single Blu-rays, what I've already got, and if there's more sort of like extras on them, I might be tempted to treat myself for my birthday and that, because my birthday is coming up soon and that. So I might be tempted because I absolutely love Pete Walker, especially love Frightmare with Sheila Keith and that. Oh yeah, fantastic, yeah. And that one with whether they're making the show on the theatre, the Flesh and Blood show, and they get bumped off one by one. That the cast in the play and that's a good one, yeah. So oh yeah, I love Pete Walker. I think he's a masterful director. Vampire Jack is here. Good evening, folks. Good evening, Vampire Jack. I hope you've had a good week, and if you've been Blu-ray hunting, the DVD hunting, I hope you've managed to pick up some goodies. Yeah. Oh, I must say, guys. Now I know. I did say to a couple of you, I'm not going to watch that Exorcist Believer. But I was tempted, wasn't I? I went into HMV a couple of weeks ago, and I seen it there, and I thought, should I? Should I not? Should I? And in the end, the temptation got the better of me. So what did I do? I bought the Blu-ray for $14.99. Watched it last week. Oh my God, I absolutely hated it. I did not like it at all. I'm not really a fan of possession movies and that. I'm not really a big fan of the original Exorcist, but by all accounts, this is nowhere near as good as the original Exorcist. And what the hell was going on there with Ellen Burstyn? What he done to her character, couldn't believe it, and I was shocked. I won't, spoilers. Like I won't give any spoilers away in case any of you haven't seen it. Oh my God, it was an awful movie. It really was, yeah. So I gave it. I traded it into CX. Yeah, very, very disappointing. I wait. You see the ones I'm going to talk about later on. They're even worse again. Yeah, but yeah, very, very disappointed I was with that Exorcist Believer. Gina's saying I've seen some of the new Coffin Joe box sets. As a friend has us, there are some good extras, documentaries, etc. But the commentaries are all in Portuguese. Oh God, with English subtitles. Oh, that's no good. Yeah, I don't think I'll be getting that one, Gina. Coffin Joe. I must admit, when I first saw it, I was sort of like momentarily, the temptation was momentarily, kindled, but the more I've watched, people on YouTube talking about it, and the more clips I've seen of it, I don't think it's worth bloody, what is it, 90 quid for the box set. So I think I'll be passing on that one. Brian's saying, I've recently bought Phenomenon on Arrow DVD. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Yeah. I've got that one on 4K. Yeah. I haven't watched the 4K yet, so I'm looking forward to revisiting that one. Yeah. So. Oh yeah, guys. What do you think about that? Amazon Prime going to put adverts on. They're going to put adverts on for the year. I was a member. Once I heard the news, I cancelled my membership. Going to show adverts on the the movies what you can watch is on Amazon. Well, you could watch as an Amazon Prime member for free. They're going to pepper them with adverts, and once they heard that, I thought, we'll stop that for a game of shoulders. Getting that, sorry, no, I'm not game of shoulders. I haven't even had a pint. Sod that for a game of soldiers. I am discontinuing my membership of Amazon Prime. So what did I do? I cancelled it right away. Yeah, I've got to put bloody adverts on, and if you don't want the adverts on, you've got to pay bloody is it $2.99 extra? So I thought, yeah, I'm not having that, like, because over the Christmas period, I was watching a lot of Christmas movies and that, the family ones. Like, some of them have got good stories to them, I mean, a lot of them have been on Hallmark, but there's a hell of a lot I haven't seen. All it seems to be endless and that, different stories and that. So I was going through them, and that was just great to sort of like go from one to the other without worrying about having to pay an extra fee, Well, but when I heard they got a bloody cheek, I reckon. Bloody charging bloody $2.99 if you don't want adverts on your movies and that. What's the point of being there's only one saving grace, really, if you wanted to be, stay in the Prime membership, and that's the next day free delivery. But other than that, I'm not continuing to subsidise a service that throws bloody adverts on and that. When you subscribe to a service, you want your movies totally devoid of ads, don't you? So I'm glad to hear a lot of other people have started to cancel their memberships as well. I think it's a bloody rip-off myself and that. What one does, I believe Netflix started it, didn't they? And they all thought, well, Amazon started doing that. It won't be long before the domino effect, kicks in even more and more on that. But let's hope they realise if they lose thousands and thousands of subs, let's hope they backtrack and that, Yeah. So, it's ridiculous, and that really is. Furious over that. Richard's saying, probably buy the Coffin Joe box set in the Arrow sale. Yeah. Well, if you do, Richard, let us know what you think of it. Do a review, or just send me a message and let me know what you thought of it. Kevin's saying Amazon Prime is not worth having. I know, Kev. That's what I just said. Yeah. When I heard the news, I thought, what the bloody hell's going on here? Bloody putting bloody adverts on. You get enough of that with Roku, and YouTube. They're buggers. Like, you might pick a horror movie on YouTube and that, you settle down to watch it, and about no sooner than you're in 1 minute into the movie, and a bloody advert pops up, sometimes 2 or 3. There's one thing I can't stand, guys, is bloody adverts ruining your enjoyment of a movie. I think I speak for a lot of people here in saying this about these bloody adverts and that, So it's like, yeah, well, stop that. I'm out. I'll a Dragon's Den. I'm out. We got Vampire Jack saying, I don't want adverts. No thanks. Yeah, ditto. I don't want adverts. And as I say, I'm glad to hear people are deserting them in their droves and that. So yeah, more power to those people. Power to the people. Remember that, Citizen Smith. Kevin's saying, how are you enjoying the On the Buses set? You know what, Kevin? I haven't got round to watching it. I've got that many films waiting to be watched and that, what I got for Christmas, what I picked up for myself. I haven't got round to watching them yet. So hope to watch them sometime this week and let you know. I haven't watched The Bionic Woman yet. Started watching some of the Columbos last night. The one with Gene Barry and Prescription for Murder, which is very good. And the other one that had the woman killer in it, that was very good as well. But yeah, so just started the Columbo, and the picture quality, guys, is fantastic on that Columbo set so far, and every single episode of Columbo, I don't think there was any one bad one. He's that good, isn't he? It's as like they said, like in the reviews and that, and various other sources and that, it's the murder's done, the murder it is, but the fun you get out of the show is just watching the character, how he pieces together all the clues and that, and finally nails the murderer. So that's what makes Columbo. That's the essence of Columbo, following the character, because he stands out like Sherlock Holmes, and following the character and the way he tries to wrong foot the murderers and that. It's a brilliant piece of television. Yeah, he was my favourite detective. In the 70s and that. I did like Kojak. I did like Cannon. Matt Millen and White, but Columbo is number one, yeah. I think he's the number one detective of many people, yeah. But as I say, getting back to the Blu-ray, the box set's what I got. The picture quality is absolutely pristine. And if you like Columbo, I'd highly recommend you get that box set. Fantastic it is. We've got Am I Dead? Yes. I just watched for the first time the sequel to Orphan, First Kill. I didn't like that at all. And thought the plot was ridiculous. Here. It was bloody ridiculous. What do you all think about it? Well, as I've just said, what I think about it. Bloody rubbish, absolute pants it was. Yeah, so I hope they don't. I hope they don't make a third one. You know, I really don't. Yeah, and this they're going to make a. Well, I think they've made it, haven't they? They're going to make it. Yeah, well, as I say, the Omen. That's it. Yeah, they've already made that. I don't think I'll be checking that out. I'm not a big fan of prequels, to be honest, guys. I don't like going back, flashbacks, and that. You know, I don't like it. I just don't like flashbacks. I don't like them going back and going over the history, because I think it takes away the mystery of the character. They did the same with Michael Myers in one or two films. He tried to go back, trying to explain, why he turned out the way he did, and that. You know, and I like that. I like that elements of mystery to be horror characters, and that. You know, that's what makes them fascinating. They got that layer of mystery to them. Yeah, I don't agree with all this bloody. They've done the same as well with what's the name? Haven't they? Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. They've gone back to it before it happened with the main characters Gage and that. And excuse me. Dr. Louis Creed, before all that happened, going back to the history, basically. Yeah, I've seen that in HMV, the Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. I thought, no, I'm not buying that. So yeah, not a great fan of prequels. Kevin's saying he loved the Bionic Woman. A lot of people love the Bionic Woman. Kev, you're looking at one now. My dad loved her. Yeah, and I think Lindsay Wagner's a talented actress all round, and that, aside from the Bionic Woman, she's been in many great movies and that, a lot of good TV movies. I always remember one where she was an air hostess, and they had this terrorist fella, organisation that sort of like bumped onto the plane, and that it was really gripping, and that, the way she handled it, and that, oh yeah, she's fantastic, Lindsay Wagner. She's just made a new film, hasn't she? I forget what it's called, but if you're watching my video, I included the segments. Something about a son coming home or something. He'd been away for so many years, and that he comes on. Lindsay Wagner plays his mother. So so there you go. Yeah, I love Lindsay Wagner. Steve Austin was good as well, the $6 Million Man. I grew up with all them series, watching them avidly on TV, all those and that. Yeah, I loved them. Kevin's saying, I enjoyed a few of the Night Gallery episodes. I've got all of them, Kev, on Blu-ray. I did have them on DVD, but I've got them all now on Blu-ray. Yeah, some of the stories are better than others, I must admit. I'll tell you what I started watching the other night. I started watching some the first couple of episodes of Rod Serling's The Twilight Zone, because I've got the Blu-ray of that, and I enjoyed it. That the one where the fella he comes back to the town, it's absolutely deserted. I won't reveal the twist in that, but yeah, fantastic episode. And then there's another one as well where a fella he gets visited by death in the form of a fella in a smart suit and that, but again, I won't reveal a twist. So I watched the first two of those and that, so absolutely pristine picture, although it's in black and white. There's not a mark in it. I love the Twilight Zone. Gina's saying, I love Columbo. Yeah, he is fantastic. I've got them all on DVD, but I'd like to get the Blu-ray box set. Well, it's worth investing in, Gina. It's a lovely box set. It really is. I've got the DVDs there now. I don't know whether I'd get anything for them if I put them on eBay, because the DVDs now, you get bloody coppers for them if you're lucky, and CEX they only give a penny. So I don't give any more DVDs to CEX. It's always Blu-rays, So, but yeah. Fantastic set, that Columbo set. What's about Harry O? That was the one with David Jason in, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't remember too much about that, but I do remember David Jansen, not David Jensen. David Jansen, wasn't it? It was in The Fugitive. Yeah, I do remember Harry O. Fugitive was a good series. Brian's saying, me and my family love Columbo. My dad was a big fan. Yeah, my dad liked them as well. Yeah, God rest his soul. Yeah. Oh, yeah, fantastic. Yeah. And Peter Falk, he made that his own, didn't he? He really did. He made that role his own. Yeah. So, as I say, that Blu-ray box set, it's definitely worth picking up. It's fantastic. And we've got Vampire Joe. Another thing I liked about Columbo, I liked the different guests that appeared every week and that, as I say, Jean Barry, and then the woman last night, I forget her name. I've seen her in loads of movies. That was in the second one. A Ransom for the Dead Man. That was the title of the second pilot. And you get all the great stars as well. Vincent Price, William Shatner, Patrick McGowan. The list is endless. It really is, yeah. So yeah, Vampire Jack. I'm not expecting much from the Omen prequel. Neither am I. Hopefully, hopefully it's best the remake. You know, you think to yourself, don't you? Some of these, like, you think to yourself, why have they bothered? You know, bothered sort of like doing a. Sorry, guys, I'm just as I say, I'm lying at the bed. I'm trying to get the best possible posture so that there's no glare and that. You know, because I've just noticed there's a bit of a glare like coming off my glasses here. So I hope it doesn't spoil your enjoyment too much of the video and that. You know, so yeah, but yeah, I'm not. I don't think I'll be checking that Omen prequel out, to be honest. As I say, I don't know why they bother with these prequels and that. It's the same with novels as well. They've done prequels with the novels, haven't they? You know, not for me. Right. Am I Dead? Yes, yeah. They waited too long. 13 years for the Orphan sequel. Yeah, I thought that was a bit mad, to be honest with you. She's supposed to be like still a little girl and that, you know, and she's an adult, isn't she? You know, and he did their best to make her look, you know, as young as she did in the first Orphan movie. But I didn't like it. I thought it was pants, absolute pants. All things with Yam Yam. Watch it, Alan. Hope you're Yam well. I am Yam well. Yeah, hope you are as well. Thanks for stopping by for the chat. Nice to see you. See you nice. Kevin is saying, Alan, can you remember or have you seen a film called Killer Fish with Lee Majors? Very good. I haven't seen that one, Kev. Killer Fish. Is that something like Piranha? I like Lee Majors, so I'll have to check that out. I'll have a look on Amazon and see if I can get that one. Thanks for drawing that to my attention, Kevin. I'm much appreciated. Richard's saying, wasn't there a bionic boy? I don't think there was a bionic boy. I don't think. Well, not to my knowledge, anyway. I don't think there was a bionic girl. Was there a bionic dog? I don't think so. Was there a bionic cat? I don't think so. Was there a bionic lion? I don't think so. You could just go on, couldn't you? As far as to my knowledge here, Richard, I think there was only just the two. The bionic woman, Jamie Summers, and the bionic man, Steve Austin. Yeah. So, yeah, both classic series and unforgettable series. All things film with Yam Yam. I picked up 3 ghost books from... Oh, yeah, you told me, yeah. I'm interested, yeah. You picked up 3 ghost books from the charity shop earlier, which I'll send to you. My local's post office has closed down. I'm sorry to hear that. I have an Every near me. If I took them there, would they send them? Well, the only experience I've had of Every is when I've returned unwanted Amazon goods via my local garage. So that's the only experience really I've had with Every. So I couldn't really comment on, you know, how good they are. But you give them a go. I didn't have any problems when I took them. As I say, it was only Amazon stuff really. When I took them down to my local petrol station, and you just scan the item in at the barcode. They give you a barcode, Amazon, and you get on your phone, you just scan it in, and that's it. You're away. But yeah, give them a try, like. All things film saying, if every would do it, I will pop in the Every shop tomorrow and send them to you. Yeah, give them a go. Yeah, you should be all right. Richard's saying Karen Black was in Killer Fish. I like Karen Black. Yeah, I like her in that trilogy of that anthology movie, Trilogy of Terror, where she gets menaced in an apartment by the the Zulu, the little warriors all. Oh yeah, it's great, that one. If you love horror anthology movies, guys, I'd highly recommend a Trilogy of Terror starring Karen Black. It's a great little anthology series. I've got Trilogy of Terror 2, and that little black doll makes another appearance in that as well. So yeah, 2 great horror anthologies there. I highly recommend them. I think you'd have to send off to America though. You might be lucky if you might be able to get them on Film Treasures, which I think is a fantastic company. Yeah, so try Film Treasures. Failing that, maybe eBay. Yeah, I love Karen Black. Kevin's saying, I've just sold my spare copy of Godzilla 58 on DVD, which came out in 1998. You got £49 for it. Hey, that was good, wasn't it, Kev? 49 quid. Wow, that's very good, that. Yeah, very pleased to hear that. That's great, that. All Things Film. Karen Black for me is weirdly attractive. I find her sexy in an odd way. If you see where I'm coming from, I've never seen it. I've never seen it though, but I do have a trilogy of terror, but I've not seen it yet. It's a great one, trilogy of terror. As I say, that little black Zulu warrior doll. Oh my days, that's one of the best. That's one of the best horror anthology stories I've ever seen in my whole life. That one with the little warrior doll in. All Things Film. Do you have any? Do you have any on orders? Most of my orders have arrived now, so I'll be doing a haul. Hopefully sometime this week. I've got quite a few horror movies to show you. Yeah, I have 4 pre-orders at the moment. I have ordered one. I've got one. I'm still waiting for one. I've ordered that many films, guys. I'm losing track. I'm still waiting for one. I've ordered starring the girl that was in From Beyond, Barbara Crampton. She plays a doctor in this one. Oh, I'm trying to think of the title. It's very much along the lines of a Lovecraftian story. It's about this girl or something, this young girl, and she gets possessed and that. When you seen the trailer of it, I thought that looks good. Yeah, it's got like a pink cover. Guys, if you're familiar with the movie, you know exactly what I mean. So I'm waiting for that one to come. So, but apart from that, everything I've ordered, I've got everything really. Apart from that one. Vampire Jack says Trilogy of Terror is solid, yeah. And part 2 is too. All Things Film to Vampire. If Trilogy of Terror 2, Trilogy of Terror 2 any cop? It is as good as the first one. Well, in my opinion, it's not quite as good as the first one, but it's a good little horror anthology. But the first one was the best. But I definitely recommend it. Add it to your collection because you get the return of that little menacing, malevolent little Zulu warrior doll, which for alone, I just buy it for that alone, So I can't remember all the other stories and that, but I do know the first one was the best. But yeah, I'd recommend the 2 of them, definitely. But you've got to love your horror anthology movies, naturally. All Things Film is right. Vampire Jack, not as good as the first, but still worth a watch. Yeah, definitely. Vampire Jack, much better than Crap Show 3. Oh, I presume you mean Creep Show 3. I wasn't too keen on that myself. That Creep Show 3. Yeah, I thought the stories were very poor. There's nothing worse than you get a horror anthology, guys, and the stories are rubbish, and sometimes even the framing story is rubbish. And I've noticed with a lot of these modern horror anthologies now, a lot of the stories they've got no substance to them. They're just sort of like splatter effects and that, and cheesy CGI. They haven't really got the solid storylines what the Amicus movies had, what they made in the 70s and that. For example, Tales from the Crypt. I mean, that Peter Cushing one alone, that was a really good story. It had a lot of layers to it because you really felt sorry for the poor old man that Cushing played and that, So really, as well as the horror elements, I think you're onto a winner if you've got a real good story and that, good characters and that, yeah. But the Amicus they were definitely on the money with those horror anthology movies, yeah. And we've got Jordan here. You okay, Jordan? Thanks for turning up. Nice to see you. Hi, Alan. That new Robert Englund documentary is great. I highly recommend it, mate. I'll have to check that out, Jordan. Yeah, I like Robert Englund. Yeah, so I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, thanks for bringing that to my attention. Hope you've had a nice week. I've been watching your videos as well. You've been very good in that, your horror movies and that, and your reviews and that. Yeah, but very good. Yeah, doing a good job there, mate, on your 2 channels. We've got All Things Film with Yam Yam. In case why you wonder why I call myself Yam Yam, is because I'm from the Black Country, and that's where Slade come from. My number 1 70s group, the Black Country in the West Midlands. Yeah. And here we're known as Yam Yams. Oh, I didn't know that. I've changed my YouTube names a few times. Oh, right, yeah. I've never been to the Midlands, to be honest with you. But as I say, yeah, my favourite group come from there. Slade, yeah, the Black Country. Yeah. So, oh yeah, you learn something new every day, don't you? We've got Jordan here again. Movie Squirm. Hi, Alan. I highly recommend the new. Oh yeah, Robert Englund one. Yeah, I'll definitely check that one out. It sounds a good watch. That. Kevin's saying yes, it's on DVD. It's about piranhas. I thought so. Yeah, some diamond thieves drop all these diamonds in a lake, and guess what's in the lake? Oh, it's obvious what's in the lake, isn't it? Yeah, I'll definitely check that out, Kev. Thanks for drawing that to my attention. Yeah, guys, if there's any movies what you think I might have seen, feel free to tell me about them, because I always like to hear of horror movies, like especially rare ones, what I've never seen. And by the same token, I like recommending movies to you guys, and that rare ones and that. I've watched some cracking little gems, ever since I've been doing this channel. It's been a real pleasure to recommend to people and that, But yeah, I'll definitely check that out, Kev. Thanks for that. Jordan's saying, I also watched Lover's Lane last night. Thought it was okay, but the last 20 minutes fell off a cliff. Yeah, and I wasn't too keen on that, Jordan. Yeah, I watched that a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I loved the cover, though. It had a lovely aesthetics, the packaging and that. But the story, sadly, it left a lot to be desired, yeah. And we've got Kevin here again saying to Richard Brown, yes, she was. It was a Scorpion release, right? I'll talk about those movies, Blu-rays in a minute, guys, what I was disappointed with, yeah. So we've got them there, so I'll show you them in a minute. Am I Dead? Yes. Have you seen Tales from the Dark Side from 1990 with Christian Slater? I've seen it, yeah. The Debbie Harry one, where she's like, it's like a send-up, isn't it, for Hansel and Gretel? Doesn't she play a witch and tries to cook them in the oven? Yeah, I've seen that one. That's a good anthology film. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Yeah. Yeah, Debbie Harry. That's the story that always stands out when I think of that. Tales from the Dark Side. Yeah, Blondie. Yeah. I used to watch the Tales from the Dark Side series as well. I did have it on DVD, but I let it go because, unfortunately, the bad stories outweighed the good stories, so I let it go. Yeah. Well, that's my criteria, that, guys. When I when I buy a box set and that, and be it a TV series, be it a horror anthology series, my standard of judgment hinges on is how many good ones, how many bad ones, and if the bad ones outweigh the good ones, I decide to let it go. But yeah, there was a lot of bad stories in that Tales from the Dark Side. But I tell you what, God, I love the opening, real creepy and that. It shows you like the woodlands and that, and the fella and that eating it. Oh yeah. That's one of the best openings to a horror TV series I've ever seen. Yeah, really creepy in that. Oh, I love the opening to that. It Tales from the Dark Side. Bit like that other one, guys, I've spoken about. The Hammer series, Journey to the Unknown, which was first screened in 1969. And I've been saying over and over again, I wish a studio would pick that up and release it on DVD or Blu-ray, because that's some cracking stories in it, and that had an eerie opening as well, because like what it was, just like Tales from the Dark Side, it opened onto a deserted location. In this particular case, it was a deserted fairground, and you had this like eerie whistling sound and that, and then the music could go all dramatic. Oh, it's great, that Journey to the Unknown. So if there's any bosses of any boutique labels watching, I would love to see preferably a Blu-ray release of Journey to the Unknown. Not many people know about that. Even a lot of Hammer fans didn't know about the horror series, but I used to watch it avidly, guys, when I was young. Yeah, and it's not unlike the Hammer House of Horror, which is talked about quite a lot. That was first screened in 1980. Journey to the Unknown is not many people talk about it, so I would love to see that get a DVD or Blu-ray release. So fingers crossed, it will eventually. All Things Film with Yam Yam. It's a Vampire Jack. Now, I've not seen any of the Creep shows or the series, but I've heard mostly good things about them. I do have Creep Show 3 on a foreign DVD. Yeah. As I said before, that was I thought that was the weakest one of the three Creep Show, three Creep Show movies. And while we're on the subject of a Creep Show, guys, I did like that last series of Creepshow, the TV series, the last Blu-ray, what they brought out. Yeah, I thought there was some good stories in that, but then there was also, by the same token, there was a few bad ones in that. Yeah, so I was agonising whether to keep it now, but again, I like all the stories to be good, so I traded it in to CEX. But the one I liked in that one was called Doodle, a story called Doodle. I spoke about it before, where this girl, like, she's going for a job with this big magazine published in America, and she wants to be the cartoonist. And I won't say too much about it, but she's got this weird gift for drawing people, and bad things happen to them. Now, she could draw somebody who's fallen down the stairs, and it could happen to them within seconds. And that, yeah, really eerie story and a real good twist. So that was the best one, Doodle. So if you get a Creepshow season 4, watch out for that one, Doodle. It's a good one. I don't have to do it a season 5. Just depends on the ratings, I suppose. Gina's saying, I've just looked up Killerfish. It was made in 1979. There aren't any available on Amazon, but there is one on eBay UK for 1999. I'll have to check that out. Must be quite rare to find. Yeah, I'll check that one out. Thanks, Gina. You got Vampire Jack saying, Tales from the Dark Side is the real Creepshow 3. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard people say that before. Yeah. Vampire Jack, the first 2, especially the first Creepshow, are great. Yeah, there's only one segment that spoilt me. The creepy crawly segment, I didn't like that. It was too revolting. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of creepy crawly stories and that. So that spoils it for me. That one. Brian Gilson, suitable flesh, right? Vampire Jack saying, Creepshow 3 is terrible. The TV show is a hit and miss. Yeah, I must admit, when I first bought those first 3 series of the Creepshow, the Creepshow TV series, I was really going into it full of expectation and that, and the packaging was lovely and that, real good aesthetics and that, so I got them with the slipcovers. But the stories, oh my word, there was some real bad ones in those, guys. And talking of bad stories and bad movies, I am now about to show you the 3 turkeys that I watched recently. So the first one up, I couldn't even get through it. I just put it off. It's not so much a horror. It's more of a thriller, and that is one called Holiday. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. I'll just read you the blurb just to give you an idea. 7 days, 3 families, 1 killer. It was supposed to be the perfect holiday. A group of families enjoying a week together in the sun. 4 women who have been best friends for as long as they can remember cannot wait to make the most of their luxurious villa. But on the day they arrive, Kate makes a discovery that leaves her questioning whether her husband Sean is having an affair. The dream holiday quickly becomes a nightmare when she suspects the other woman is one of her best friends, working against Kate to destroy her family. But which one is this? But guys, don't be deceived by this synopsis. It was pants. Well, in my opinion, it was pants. Yeah, I won't read you anymore. There's the back of it anyway, guys. I'm sorry about the glare, as I say, being in a different room and that. But I couldn't get through it, guys. It was just I would have had a better time watching paint dry. But if you want to check it out, see it for yourself. Yeah, if you've got the patience to struggle, to patience to weather the storm watching it, yeah, by all means, you can pick it up on Amazon. Yeah, The Holiday. Yeah, when was it made? Was it? The light's a bit dark in here. I can't really see. I think it was made around about 2019, something like that. And it's quite long as well. It's 176 minutes, yeah. But I couldn't get through it, guys. I was bored to tears, yeah. So there you go. That's the first bum one. That's The Holiday. And this, oh my God, this was even worse. It was really bad. Yeah, badder. I don't know about bigger and better. Badder, I would sum up. It's supposed to be like a rip-off of the Incredible Hulk, but as you can see, he's kind of like this like purpley colour and that, I hope you like enormous naked people. Should I read this out? I hope you like enormous naked purple monsters. Oh, missus. I'll read the synopsis anyway, guys, and I'll move on to the last one. One of the most talked about cult superhero. Yeah, it's a kind of a superhero movie, guys. It's not really a horror. Yeah, one of the most talked about cult superhero mockbusters ever made. Henry Howard is an ambitious young scientist who takes an experimental serum for building muscle mass, and is transformed into the bulk. He's transformed into the incredible Bulk, sending him on a bizarre and destructive rampage of revenge from which he may never return. In a world that does not understand him and wants to destroy him. Oh, it's terrible, guys. I mean, I've watched some bad movies. In my time, but these two, bloody hell, I tell you. But again, as I say, if you want to give it a go, try it out. The Amazing Bulk, not to be confused with Old Green Skin, The Incredible Hulk. Its main fault for me, well, two main faults. The story was virtually non-existent, and it was set against the cartoon. It was set against the cartoon background, if you know what I mean. It had the characters, all right, the live action, but it had like cartoon buildings, cartoon cars, things like that. And so this will definitely not be. I won't be revisiting this again. So that's the second pants one. That's The Amazing Bulk. And finally, you're going to be very surprised what I'm going to show you now, because I'm a huge fan of this guy. I got the Blu-ray thinking I was in for a treat, and I ended up switching it off, guys. I was that bored. I didn't like it at all. That's Stephen King on screen. All it was, guys, it was basically like, and the sound was very bad as well, showing you, it was like skimming through his movies and that, obviously, his books that have been made into films and that, and the sound was terrible, and it was just, it was nothing different to what you'd seen before and that, just skimming over his movies and that, and getting directors talking about them and that, I couldn't sit through it, guys. I put it off, yeah. So there you go, that's Stephen King on screen, big disappointments in that, yeah. So there you go, guys. They're the 3-bun ones. Stephen King on screen. The Amazing Bulk. And finally, The Holiday. Yeah, dreadful movies, yeah. So avoid them like the plague. But then, as I've always said, everybody's different. That's just my opinion. If you want to get them yourselves and check them out, I'm not trying to put you off. I don't like to put people off movies. I believe in everybody's got their own opinion. Everybody's different. We all like different things, don't we? What might scare one might scare another. What might make one person laugh might be amusing to another. We're all different, yeah. But check them out, at least you might get a laugh out of it. You might get a laugh out of that one. The Amazing Bulk, yeah. So there you go. Right back to the comments, and we are up to. We've got Brian saying Barbara Crampton plays a doctor in it. That's the one, yeah. But I can't remember the title. It was a new one that's come out, so I'm waiting for that to come, yeah. And as I say, that'll be included in me pickups next week. Yeah, hope to do that next week. We've got Kevin saying it's good, Gina. Well worth watching, right? All Things Film with Yam Yam. I have pre-ordered the Pete Walker horror sets. Oh, good. I cancelled the last pre-order as they weren't organised. Inside Second Sight Blu-ray set 7, the box set, and Inferno from 1921, which I recommend. Yeah, good. Kevin saying, who's looking forward to Blood on Satan's Claw and Witchfinder General 4Ks? Well, I've got those films already on Blu-ray, so I don't think I'll be upgrading to 4K, because the 4Ks I've had so far have been very dark, so that's put me off the 4Ks, but they're great movies, them. I love those movies. I've watched them many, many times. Vincent Price, I think that's one of his most villainous roles ever. He plays the Witchfinder General, Matthew Hopkins, based on a true story, actually. And Blood on Satan's Claw. Oh, that's a fantastic. If you like your folk horror, I think you'll enjoy that one. Blood on Satan's Claw. It's great, that one. We've got Am I Dead Yet saying, isn't Wolves football team hooligan outfit called Yam Yam Army? I'm not too sure. You could be right. Richard Brown, The Night of the Devils on Radiance Films is worth getting. Oh, right, yeah. I'll have to check that one out, Richard. All Things Film at Yam Yam. If you ever visit the Black Country, I highly recommend the Black Country Museum. If you're interested in history old buildings, experiencing the older lives and visiting the old black and white pictures. Well, I'll keep that in mind. If I ever do get round to visiting the Black Country, I will make that my first port of call. Thanks very much for that, Yam Yam. I've got a doppelganger. Hi, Alan. I hope you enjoy your horror film reviews. I got the Revenge DVD after you reviewed it. Saw it in the early 90s. Great film. Yeah, it's a good one, that. Yeah, it's a good one, that Revenge. Brilliant story. Great acting. All Things Film with Yam Yam says, my channel was originally Walk On Always Believe. That's right. Yeah. Which is a quote of mine. Then it was Yam Yam's Moving Pictures. Then Yam Yam's All Media and Facts. But now I'm sticking to All Films with Yam Yam. Yeah. I remember you saying, it used to be Walk On Always Believe. Yeah, that's right. Right, just sorry guys, the comments have just it gone up a bit quick. All Things Film saying to Am I Dead? Yes. I'm not sure. I'm not a football fan, but it might be. Yeah. Richard Brown, Orson Welles, Great Mysteries. I remember that well. I used to watch that 73, 74. He used to come on with a black fedora and smoking a cigar and a black garb, like a cloak. Yeah, some good stories in that, especially that one. An Incredibly Strange Bed. That's a great one, that. And Peter Cushing's in one, isn't he? Yeah, Orson Welles' Great Mysteries had good opening titles. Yeah, again, great opening titles and great eerie music as well. Yeah, good series. I highly recommend that. Vampire Jack, Journey into the Unknown is available to watch on YouTube. Yeah, but the picture quality leaves a lot to be desired. I'd rather wait until I get I've watched a couple of the episodes, but the ones I watched, the picture quality was, as I say, it was very poor. So fingers crossed they might bring it out eventually. I'll be one of the first in line to get it. Am I Dead? Yes, to All Things Film with Yam Yam. I'm sure it is or was. Birmingham City's or Call of Zulu. Yeah, I wouldn't know because don't really follow football now. We used to follow it like in the 70s and that, and I watched the odd when England are playing, but I'm not, apart from that, I don't really follow football. Kevin's saying, that doodle segment sounds like the episode in Vaults of Horror by Amicus. Yeah, that came to my mind actually when I was watching it. Yeah, the Tom Baker one. In the Vaults of Horror, yeah, when he goes to the voodoo fella, he gets his revenge on those three fellas, doesn't he? To criticise his work and that, and the chap, well, the native in the jungle, he's got the spoiling pot, hasn't he? And he says, you don't need voodoo, you're an artist, and that he puts his hands in the thing, doesn't he? In the red hot pattern, gives him the ability then to draw like the girl in Doodle, and whoever he draws, he might put a line across the throat and something happens to him to get the throat cut or whatever. Yeah, that's a great segment. That originally in the old DC comics, which a lot of those, if you know as much about DC comics and the Amicus movies as me, you will know that a lot of those stories were based on that were in those movies were based on the old Tales from the Crypt, Vaults of Horror, EC comics from the 1950s. Yeah. All Things Film, Yam saying, I have some stuff to sell on eBay. When someone purchases, I don't have a sticker machine. Would I go to the shop and show them the barcode scan thing on my mobile, and will they print one off? Well, I'm not too sure there. I have some stuff to sell on eBay. When someone purchases, I don't have a sticker machine. Would I go to the shop and show them the barcode scan? Well, what you do, what I've been doing, as I say, like I just scan. They send you Amazon, at least Amazon. They send me a barcode in my mailbox, and what I have to do, I have to scan that on my mobile phone. Then I take the parcel down to the garage at the petrol station, and then they've got a machine there. And what I do, they just scan the code in off my phone, my smartphone, and then it's all done. That's the only thing I know about it. Yeah, but you could try that, like, but that's my experience anyway. Vampire Jack, no idea, mate. All Things Film. Have you seen a film called The Wind? I've got that one. It's good. Robert Morley, yeah. The Wind from Arrow Video with the gorgeous Meg Foster. It's good, that one. Yeah, I like that one. Meg Foster's the main female protagonist. I watched this a few days ago and had a great time. It's good, yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Yeah, The Wind. It's great. Good story, yeah. I love Robert Morley. He's a great actor. Vampire Jack. I'd imagine you'd be sent to buy his address and you could just write it out. Right? All Things Film. So am I dead? Yes, I have heard of the Zulus, but I don't know anything about football apart from kicking the ball in net. Yeah, that's pretty much what my football knowledge amounts to. Alan, Yam Yam. I also have The Wind on DVD. Good atmospheric film, yeah. The Amazing Bulk sounds like a cheap. It sounds like a cheap, but it sounds like a cheap blue movie. The Amazing Bulk. Bloody hell! You don't need to take if you suffer from insomnia, you don't need to take sleeping tablets. Just watch this, or indeed any of those two what I've just mentioned. That I can guarantee within minutes you'll be in the land of Nod. Bloody awful movies, then. I watched some bad movies in my time, guys, but they take the biscuit, I tell you. I've never heard of it. Awesome front cover, though. I know, see, again, the aesthetics can fool you. All it glitters is not gold, you know. Some of these films and that, you know, they've got great artwork and that. And but when you actually come to watch them, the proof is definitely not in the pudding, you know. So it's happened to me loads and loads of times. If you've been watching my video, guys, you'll know what I mean, won't you? You know, it's like book covers as well. Sometimes you can be taken in by book covers. You know, many times I've gone onto Waterstones in Liverpool or Manchester or Chester, whatever, been shopping, and I've seen a great cover and read the blurb. I thought, that sounds good. And when I've actually come around to reading the story, I've put it down. You know, barely into a couple of chapters and that. You know, because just didn't do anything for me. So yeah, so that happens with a lot of people. You know, get taken in by the the artwork, the aesthetics of the the cover and that. All Things Film with Yam Yam. Alan, totally agree, right? All Things Film, Inferno, 1911. I meant not 1922, right? I tell you what, guys, talking about old movies, I was watching a YouTube video the other night, and they're reviewing an old, very, very old movie called The Phantom Carriage. Any of you guys seen that? It was made in, what year was it made? Was it 1917? Something like that. It was a very, very old movie. It's basically about this guy, he's led a bad life, and he dies on New Year's Eve, and his spirit leaves his body, and it goes to hell or something. But before it goes to hell, he had whoever's governing like his particular life and that in the afterlife, he gives him this assignment of going round in a carriage collecting souls, like, you know, to take to hell or whatever. Yeah, and it was ahead of its time as well, because like the special effects, like they did a good job with the special effects. They made it look as if they were like the figures were actually ghostly figures, you know, transparent and that, you know. So but yeah, it's a silent movie. Yeah, The Phantom Carriage. I think you can get it on what label can you get it on? It's a BFI, one of those labels anyway. But watch out for that one. One of my favourite old films, guys, is one called The Cabinets of Dr. Caligari. I don't know if any of you've seen that one. Very good. Oh, it's got a good twist as well. Yeah, it's basically about this creepy guy. Like he goes around all the carnivals and that, and fun fairs and that. He's got this like fella. He's like a somnambulist, like a sleepwalker. And what he does, he gets people, you know, to approach him and that, and he gives them the future. This I forget the name of the character, the sleepwalker, and he tells them the future, like you're going to die like tonight and all that, you know, and it's supposed to come true and that, you know, but it's very good. I won't say too much about it, but it's supposed to be the very first horror movie ever made, The Cabinets of Dr. Caligari. So, but you've got to like your old movies to sort of like appreciate it and that, because it's got so many layers to it and that. I've got a great edition of it and that, you know, it's got some good actors and that. But it's not like it leads you down a path. You think you're going down one path, and it suddenly turns and leads you down this other, even more darker path. So watch out for that one, The Cabinets of Dr. Caligari. But as I say, you've got to like the old silent movies and that. You know, it's not, to be honest, there's not really many of those I like. I'm not really a fan of silent movies, but that The Cabinets of Dr. Caligari, along with Nosferatu, is one of the best old horror silent movies I've ever seen. So I highly recommend that one. Vampire Jack saying, Amicus made great anthology movie. Well, I certainly wouldn't argue with that. I've got them all. I love them all. I've watched them many times. They're my comfort movies. You know, I've heard quite a few YouTubers saying about comfort movies, what they go back to again and again and again. Well, Amicus are among my own personal comfort movies, along with the Hammer, Christopher Lee Dracula, Piece of Cushion, Frankenstein, comfort movies, and the old Universal ones, which first got me into horror. It's like going back to visiting an old friend and that, you know. Absolutely love all them. Great stories, great actors, and lovely colour and that, you know. Not like a lot of these ones now, they've got like dirty dishwater colour and that, you know. But oh yeah, fantastic movies, absolute classics. Yeah, I love my Amicus films. All Things Film saying, thank you, Alan. Really appreciate that. I know you like anthologies, yeah? Have you seen Waxworks? Not the awful 1988 horror film, but the classic 1924 classic. The 1924 one. I don't think I've seen a 1924 one. I've seen The House of Wax with Lionel Atwill. I think that was made in 1931, I think. Yeah, I've got that with a double bill with Vincent Price, The House of Wax. But I haven't seen that Waxworks one from 1924. I'll tell you another good one, guys. Another old movie I like. It's one called Todd Browning's Freaks. Have you seen that one? That's a great one. That they've done 1 or 2 remakes of that as well. Oh, but what an ending, guys! What an ending! I won't spoil it for you if you haven't seen it, but I highly recommend that if you like your old classics, Freaks. They've just brought a special edition out, haven't they? A Blu-ray with 2 other horror movies as well. But at the moment, it's a trifle expensive. So I think I'll wait. Till it comes down in price, and I'll order that one. But it's great, Freaks. Yeah, Todd Browning. Yeah. Gina's saying, anyone else watched? What's that? Is that Gaia? 2021. It's set in the jungle, and it's about fungi that takes people over. Oh, I haven't seen that one. Seemed good, but after the first few scenes, the rest of the film isn't Africans with no English subs. Oh, right, I might give that one a miss. But thanks for bringing it to our attention, Gina. Richard saying, The Hallows was about a weird fungus and weird creatures. Quite good. Yeah, is that the Irish horror movie? I like that one. If the one I'm thinking of, I did like one. I did like that one, The Hallows. It was good, yeah. Right, scroll. Sorry, guys. It's just comments have just acting a bit weird. Just gone up a bit quickly. All Things Film. I've seen front covers on films, and the baddie and the killer looks really grotesque and out there. And when I watch them, the killer effects look awful. And I say to myself, "Where's the killer on the artwork?" I know, yeah. Oh, some of the covers can be quite weird and quite laughable, you know. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Richard Brown. I was thinking about buying the Phantom Carriage myself. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I might get it myself actually. Yeah, it looks a real good story, and you know, by all accounts, it's got a good meaning to it as well. You know, it's kind of like a cautionary tale, a moralistic tale, if you will. But yeah, the Phantom Carriage, it's definitely worth checking out. Am I dead yet? What about this over-the-top nonsense with Barbie and the Oscars people? Anyone interested? Lol, I've not even seen it yet. Over-the-top nonsense with Barbie. It's not the woke idiots striking again, is it? Do you know what, guys? I'm absolutely sick of all this woke madness. You know, I was saying to my mum the other night, you know, so one of these airlines and that, oh God, they made some terrible blunders them recently, those airlines and that, with this woke nonsense. Yeah, one of the airlines or something in America is going to be taking on people that's got like it's got psychological problems, driving a bloody pilot in a bloody plane. I ask you, people that's had been treatment for psychological problems, they're going to have them driving a bloody airplane. The wheel's definitely going mad. It really is. I don't want to go on too much about it, guys, because I don't want to make this stream too downbeat. But I don't like. It annoys me, all the smoke nonsense. It really does, and that cutting the Carry On films and that, and you can't say this, you can't say. Oh, you could go on. I could go on all night, moaning about it and that. It's about time it was stopped. It really is, and that it's just crazy. And some of these airlines and that, what they're doing and that, it's ridiculous the way they're treating the passengers and that. Their flights and that getting delayed and that. Oh yeah, it's terrible. It needs to. It needs somebody in power that'll put a stop to it and that. But I mean, that's just the height of madness, that, isn't it? Even people with got like physical infirmities as well, having them, training them up quick to to pilot a plane, and they'll be moaning then when you get air crashes, won't they? It just makes your blood boil, guys. Really does. All things film at Yam Yam. Sorry for the spelling mistakes. Okay, I type quickly. I'll have to slow my typing so it's more clear to read. Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Am I dead? Yes. Wasn't the cabinet of Dr. Caligari even before Nosferatu? Oh God, was it? I think it might have been a year or two before Nosferatu. Yeah. They're not. I don't think there's all that much of a time gap between the two movies, but it could have been made before Nosferatu. Gina's saying to Richard Brown, yes, the Hallows is a very good film. Yeah. All things film, 1920s, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Grace, yeah, good story. Only seen it once, but I do have the Eureka Blu-ray. I've got the Eureka Blu-ray. It's great, yeah. It's real good twist and that, very, very cleverly done, yeah. And a lot of social commentary, I believe, in that movie as well. And that, every time you watch it, you see something new in it. In that, for instance, like the government official, where he's sort of like where the doctor goes in to see him and that. Government official sitting on this big high stool and that, which a lot of reviewers have said that seems to suggest authority looking down on the ordinary man, the ordinary layman, and that there's all different interpretations in rooted in the cabinet of Dr. Caligari. You can look for and that and say, oh yeah, that's right, but it's a good film, a film with many layers and that, and a movie that every horror fan should have in a collection. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Richard Brown says Nosferatu and The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari are where horror films begins. Definitely, yeah, two classics, yeah. Or that Nosferatu's weird, isn't it? Real creepy. The part where he comes up the stairs, his shadow. Oh yeah, that terrified me. That when I first watched that as a kid, his shadow coming up the stairs and that. Yeah, and when he's on the ship and he kills all the crew, just like in the Dracula novel. Yeah, Max Schreck. He was really on the money, wasn't he? In that movie, yeah, it's great. And he done one, didn't he? I believe. Oh God, was it in the 70s or the 80s where they done like another story about it, like where it was getting made or something, and he'd become real or something. I don't know the full story of it, but it's like the film was Curse or something. A couple of months ago, there was a YouTuber going on about it. Yeah, it made in the 70s or 80s and that. Yeah. All things film saying Waxworks 1924 from Eureka, not eBay. Sorry, I typed quickly. I'll have to check that out. That Waxworks from 1924. I haven't seen that one. Gina's saying Freaks is a great film. Yeah, absolute classic. Wish you'd lower the prices though, guys, of some of these Blu-rays and that. It's ridiculous, like what they're charging for some of them and that. And some of them, like, you only get like they're charging about £45. You only get a couple of art cards and a poster, and I think it's ridiculous to myself. Posters and art cards, like, to be honest, guys, I can take them or leave them and that. I'm more interested in the film and that and the extras and that. I don't really go in for all the art cards and the all that and that, posters and that. I'm mainly interested if it's got a good slip cover. Yeah, I love my slip covers, and as I say, that the film's good, and it's got loads of extras and that, So yeah. Tell you what, guys, depart from horror for just a few minutes. I watched the movie last night called. I love. Well, if you've been watching my videos, you'll know I love kitchen sink dramas. just as much as I love horror movies. I was watching a movie called The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner, starring Tom Courtenay. It's an absolute classic movie. If you like movies like Saturday Night and Sunday Morning and A Taste of Honey, I think you might like The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner. Without giving too much away, it's about this teenager played by Tom Courtenay, great actor, great British actor. He's a rogue and that, and he gets sent to Borstal. They don't have them anymore. It's all young offenders institutes now, and he gets sent to Borstal and that. And he's rebellious and that, he stands up to the governors and that. And he's a good runner. He's really good, and he gets noticed by the governors and that. And what they do, they enter him in a competition to compete against this posh school and that, But it's not all about running. My mum doesn't like the movie because she doesn't like the running in it. But I said to her again last night when she came in from doing the dish, I said, it's not all running, it's because you see him like it. I tell you who's in it as well, guys. James Boland from the Likely Lads. He's his mate and that, and he go around picking girls up and that, and you see them robbing cars and that. It's very good, yeah. And then he get nicked in that and put into Borstal, from there just it goes into the story then of being a good runner and that. It's a good movie. And it's got a twist as well. I didn't see it coming. So if you like your kitchen sink movies, as I say, like Up the Junction and Saturday Night and Sunday Morning, movies like that. If you haven't seen the Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner, I highly recommend you check it out. It's a good movie made under the studio. Was at Woodfall Films. He made a lot of those 1960s angry young. They call those movies angry young men because there's a lot of angry young men around these days, but loads of angry young men everywhere, even around the world, I think. Yeah, but that was the phrase it was called because it had a lot of rebellious young men in them, and that like Saturday Night, Sunday Morning, like he wanted to rebel, he wanted to better himself, and that and he hates authority, authority being too hard on him, and that and you want to make something themselves. They don't give a damn whose toes they tread on. So that was like basically what the angry young man was. Yeah. So The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner is a kind of an angry young man movie. I recommend you check it out. Right, back to the horror now. All Things Film. Freaks is great. Yeah, I have the Criterion DVD. I also have the Freak on Blu-ray and Freak Show on DVD. If DVD Freak Show I found slow, but some good effects. Yeah. But Freaks is 10 out of 10. Yeah. Oh, what an ending, though. Am I dead yet? Saying, no, a lot of Barbie are going mental. That Margot Robbie wasn't nominated for Best Actress, and Greta Gerwig was not nominated for Best Director, despite the fact it was nominated for 8 other actors, or the Oscars. Yeah, I know Barbie's it's had a lot of love. I don't think it's my kind of movie. So I might pass on that. Yeah, I don't think it appeals to me that. But or Oppenheimer, I don't. I think I'd be falling asleep within 5 minutes of watching that. To be honest, in that, yeah. But everybody's different, aren't they? All Things Film. Yeah, I'm saying. I despise the woke Nazis. Not in a git way. I'm going to say this: no woke gits, and no one will ever change the way I talk and choose what I can and can't see and what I can and can't listen to. Here. I totally echo those sentiments. Yeah, it's about time all this woke nonsense was stopped. It's getting beyond a joke. Yeah, tampering with the Bond books as well. I didn't like that either. Editing the Bond books. Yeah, and he put what's the names on the Bond films, haven't he? Trigger warnings and that. That's bloody ridiculous. That people, but it's only a bloody fictional bloody secret agent, for crying out loud. Oh God, tell you what, if I was in charge of those publishing houses, I'd sack all them. I'd get them right out the door, and I'd get sensible people in that would be averse to all this woke garbage that's going on. It seems to have spread like a disease, doesn't it, guys? All this woke nonsense and that. I got to say about Piers Morgan, I don't watch him all that much, but what I've seen of him on YouTube and that, he really speaks out, doesn't he, about all this woke and that. And so full marks to him, Piers Morgan, because it annoys him and that, when he says it's ridiculous and that what they're doing and that, So if more people spoke out and that and acted, I think they'd we'd see this woke nonsense sort of like decrease, and in the end, completely vanish. Am I dead yet? Saying, sorry, that was, I read that. Sorry, guys, I read that one out before. I'm just get the comments sorted. All Things Film. I actually lost my Instagram account because of the woke gits. That's terrible, that. There was a video of woke's been woke, so I commented, and cause of that I lost my account. So clearly Instagram is woke. It's right. I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's bloody ridiculous the way they invested everything. Vampire Jack. I'm really looking forward to the new Nosferatu. Oh, they make the new Nosferatu movie, are they? I didn't know that. All right, so I'll have to check that out. That old one will take some beating now with Max Schreck in. Klaus Kinski was in a Nosferatu movie as well, wasn't he? Remake in 1979, which I didn't care much for, to be honest. Klaus Kinski's movies tend to be a bit of a hit and miss. I've had a couple of his movies and that, and he's made some real turkeys, but then he's made a few gems. That's the one. Shadow of the Vampire, that's the one I was talking about before. All Things Film with Yam Yam says, I remember the first, I presume the first time, I saw the character of Count Orlok from Nosferatu, and that was from the Queen music video. I haven't seen that. Under Pressure. When I saw Orlok in that music video as a bairn, I was scared stiff. I haven't seen that video, Queen, Under Pressure, although I do know the song well. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Kevin's saying, has anybody seen The Wonderful World of the Brothers Grimm Blu-ray by the Warner? No, I haven't seen that one, Kev. I used to read when I was a child. I used to read a lot of the Grimm fairy tales and that. Yeah, and I used to get I tell you what I used to get from our local library, the Andrew Lang coloured book of fairy stories. Oh, I absolutely loved them. Yeah, you get like a blue book of fairy stories, an orange book of fairy stories, a red book of fairy stories, and all by Andrew Lang, compiled by Andrew Lang. Oh, they were great. Yeah, I used to love all those books. Yeah, I used to read the Mary Plain books about the little bear, Winnie the Pooh, all them. Enid Blyton. Enid Blyton was my number one author when I was a kid. I devoured Enid Blyton. And when I seen her name on a book, Enid Blyton, I thought, I'm having that, So, she was fantastic. Absolute master of a craft, Enid Blyton, yeah. I tell you what I used to read as well. I used to read the Jennings books. They were good, about schoolboy Jennings, all the tricks he got up to in school and that. I used to love the Jennings books. Our local library had a whole shelf, a whole row of Jennings books and that. I was forever at bottom of the mouse and that, Yeah, there was a lot of Biggles books as well about the airline pilots. They had a lot of them in my local. I didn't go too much on him. As a Captain W.E. Johns, Biggles, yeah. They had a lot. They had a lot of and Just William. I used to read Just William as well, but I did prefer Jennings, yeah. So, always read books, right from when I was in short pants. Richard Brown saying, wasn't John Thor? He was in the loneliness, a very, very young John Thor in The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner. Yeah, he was, yeah. Yeah, Michael Redgrave was in it as well. Yeah, I'd say James Bolam. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, so kept it in my collection. Yeah, I like Tom Courtenay. He's a good actor. Oh, I think he was in Billy Liar as well, wasn't he? Billy Liar. All Things Film. The Criterion Blu-ray of Freaks is okay. No grace, I must say. Not great, I must say. And personally, I don't see much of an upgrade from the DVD. As the DVD picture quality is great, but the Blu-ray does have a Freaks podcast. All right. Yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic, that Freaks. Gina's saying The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner is a very good film. Yeah. Tom Courtenay is one of my favourite actors. Yeah, I love Tom Courtenay. He's great. Yeah. I haven't read the novel of that, The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner. I have to check the novel out. Am I Dead Yet says, talking about angry young men, I watched the Brighton Rock remake this week. I haven't seen that one. Have you seen that? No, it's a cross between Brighton Rock and Quadrophenia. I've seen the old Brighton Rock. Was it Richard Attenborough? Seen the old one. I don't remember so much about it. Doesn't he play a character called Pinky, as in Pinky and Perky? Anybody remember Pinky and Perky, the two pigs? Yeah, but I saw it many moons ago. I don't remember too much about it. What didn't Graham Greene write the novel Brighton Rock? Sure, it was Graham Greene. I have to check that one out, actually. I haven't seen Quadrophenia either. Richard Brown says The Dresser with Tom Courtenay and Albert Finney is a great film. I haven't seen that. Was that made in the 60s or was that one of his later movies, Richard? All Things Film with Yam Yam. In my opinion, Margot Robbie is overrated. I don't think she's as good of an actor as people claim. And everyone says she's the most attractive woman ever. For me, I see her as okay, but very overrated. Right, I'm not really too familiar with her movies, Margot Robbie. Wasn't she in didn't she play Sharon Tate in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Vampire Jack. Margot Robbie is average. All Things Film with Yam Yam. I started a new Instagram account a few days ago, but I missed my old account. I absolutely despise the woke Nazis. I can't stand them. Most people do. It's about time they were sort of like phased out, like, to put it mildly. Forcibly phased out, that is. Am I dead yet? Vampire Jack. Margot Robbie is all right at acting, but not great. I think she would have actually been nominated for Babylon this year before the film bombed, but she was good in it, right? Vampire Jack says the new Nosferatu movie is by the director of The Witch and The Lighthouse, Alan. I've seen The Witch. I didn't like it. I haven't seen The Lighthouse, but from what I've seen of some of the comments and reviews, I think I'll give that one a miss. Richard Brown, Robert Eggers, Ellis Mainworth. You okay, Alice? Hi, Alan. Hope you're doing okay. I'm not too bad, thanks. I'm just my cop's gone and that. I had a very bad cold. A cold from hell, I called it. So just recovering now. Yeah, still get me sense of taste and smells gradually coming back. When do we get a tour? You're not the first one to ask that. It's coming very soon. Never fear. It'll be here soon. The tour of my horror collection. Yeah, I've got the shelves pretty much sorted out now. So it'll be here very, very soon. And Alice is asking me again, what do you think of Stephen King's Sons books? Not really a fan, to be honest. I did meet him a few years ago in Waterstones. He was a nice guy, Joe Hill, yeah. And there's another son, isn't it? Is it Owen? What's the other son called? Is it Owen? Owen Hill. Didn't he write what's the name with him? With his father, that book with him. They all fell asleep or something. I didn't like it. It was an awful book. He co-wrote it, didn't he? Owen Hill with his dad. I didn't like it at all. Yeah, but yeah, not really. I don't think it's as good as that dad's books. Couldn't get into Horns at all. I didn't like the film either with the what's the name in Daniel Radcliffe. All Things Film saying, speaking of James Bolam, have you seen Harold Shipman, Dr. Death? I've seen clips of it. He plays the notorious serial killer, doesn't he? Dr. Harold Shipman, yeah. Where James Bolam plays the killer, Harold Shipman. Yeah, I've seen clips of it. I haven't seen it right through, yeah. Am I dead? Yes. Pinky Attenborough played one of his most sinister roles up there with 10 Rillington Place. 10 Rillington Place is a really good movie. Always, he's by George, he's creepy in that, isn't he? Yeah, he playing the serial killer, John Reginald Christie. Yeah, and what he puts that poor couple through, especially Timothy Evans and that, played brilliantly by John Hurt. Oh, it's a great movie, that 10 Rillington Place. Yeah, it shocked Britain. Those murders and that, it's one of the worst cases in the annals of British crime history. And Richard Attenborough, who's really on the money playing that serial killer, John Christie. Yeah, he'd actually thought it was him, the way he played it and that, and the creepy voice and that, the quiet voice. Yeah, it's great. It's great. If you haven't seen 10 Rillington Place, guys, I highly recommend it. It's a fabulous movie, really great, very well done. And a very, very dark movie as well. It really, really grips you from start to finish, especially knowing it's based on a true story. Fantastic movie, that. Alice is saying Margot Robbie was great as Sharon Tate in Hollywood. She showed us Oh, Mrs. Which apparently is one of the most paused scenes these days, even more than the Sharon Stone scene. Yet, moving on. All things film. I've had to put Ellis in time out, Alan. I think there's oh no, we're not getting those idiots, are we? Pass me that bag of rotten tomatoes. There's a troll cause of the last comment being rude and out of respect. I didn't want the risk of any other words, but yeah, we can clear off. Don't want foul-mouthed ones like that on my channel. Any other words being said as you don't like? No, I don't like them. I don't like idiots and coming onto my channel being a pain in the posterior. So you're not wanted. So clear off. I don't know. Again, you know, the nutters are back, guys. Don't want any vulgarity on my channel. Kids could be watching this. Richard Brown, Sleeping Beauties with Owen King. That's the one. Yeah, didn't like it. Brian's saying, great work. All things filling with Yam Yam. I was about to do the same thing. Richard Attenborough directed a horror film called Magic. Yeah. Yeah, we don't want no nutcases on this channel. Or foul-mouthed nobodies. All things film. Brian Gilson, thanks, Brian. Yeah, you can't have a serious discussion. Don't bother coming near my channel. Very strict about that, guys. This is supposed to be a channel sensibly discussing movies and books. We don't want bloody what's the names, nutcases coming here spouting garbage because they'll be instantly deleted or froze or whatever. Am I dead? Yes. I'm not sure if that's Ellis meant that. Maybe just not thinking. Well, I don't know, but still, no, I don't want that sort of thing on my. I'm very strict about, very prohibitive about that. You know, and I'm not going to change either. I'm not going to change me ethics for anybody. You know, so don't want that sort of thing. You know, on my channel. Clear off. Rich Plant's archive. To be fair, I don't think that was what he said was that bad. What other word could he have used? I don't know, but don't want nonsense on here because I'll just terminate the stream. That's what I'll do. So has any of you guys been watching any good horror movies this week? You know, bought any? Let me know. You keep it clean as well, please. Am I dead yet? Yeah, it was a vote. Yeah, well, we don't want it. We just don't want it. Should he have? I don't know. Right, we're getting back. We're straying a bit now, guys. We're talking about movies now and books. So if you don't mind, we just keep it on a level plane, please. Thanks. Brian Gilson, have you seen the film City of the Living Dead? I've heard a lot of good. I've got it in my collection. It's a good movie, that. Yeah, good film. All things film. Have you seen the more modern version of 20 Rillington Place? No. Haven't seen it. Richard Brown, he was wrong anyway. Margot Robbie doesn't do nudity. I couldn't care less. I just don't want those cretins on my channel. That's all I've got to say. Right, guys, I'm on till 10 o'clock. So, as per usual, you know, if you want to talk about, you know, anything like good horror movies you've seen, want to ask me about me films I've watched and that, films I can recommend, feel free to do so. But as I say, we don't want no nonsense on here. There's enough bloody nonsense in the world at the moment, as we were just saying before, without, you know, circus clowns making it worse. And you think that these people think they're being funny, but on the contrary, they're just making bloody fools of themselves. You know, if they can only see themselves, how foolish they look and how low they look, you know, they just won't see it, will they? You know, that would be the last thing being serious, guys, that would be the last thing I'd want to do. You know, people work hard on the YouTube channels and they get a good stream, they get good followers and that, you get a good conversation going, and you get these bloody empty-headed nutters, every word out of their mouth is effing this and effing that, and you know, coming on and trying to ruin people's live streams. Yeah, well, you can clear off, you know. You're about as welcome on this channel as a sack of excrements, to be bluntly honest, and we don't want you here, so don't want you. And we've got another nutcase on as well. Soon put paid to him. Yeah, we don't want any of this talk on here because I'll terminate the stream. I'm not having it. Okay, so I'm just telling you now. This is a family. This is a family stream, and we don't want bloody empty-headed, foul-mouthed nutters on my channel. So I'm telling you now. If there's any more of it, I'll just terminate it. You know, get back to your sad lives, whatever, what life you've got. Most probably spend most of your day in the indoors, stuck in front of a computer, making a fool of yourselves. Vampire Jack, City of the Living Dead is a zombie classic, yeah. All Things Film. Remember, Alan, we spoke private, and if you remember, I found that troll where I found his name and picture. Is that the same? Is that the same nutter? Is it? Most likely him. But anyway, let's continue with horror. Yeah, let's talk about sensible things, and we don't want circus clowns on this channel because that's all you bloody are, circus clowns, and you'll never be anything. You'll be losers all your lives. So there. Sorry, guys. Get back to. I watched the 1965 and 74 version of, and then they were They were really good. Yeah, good movie that. I just had to remove another nutcase, guys. I'm sorry about this. Kevin Wardle, what was the best Blu-ray that you got for Christmas? Oh, that now you're talking. There's a lot I haven't watched yet, as I say, you know. So I'm very pleased with the Columbo set. And as I say, I'm looking forward to watching the Bionic Woman and you know, the Avengers. Huge fan of the Avengers, yeah. So I'm looking forward to watching them. Vampire Jack's asking me, Alan, what's your favourite 3 Hammer movies? Oh God, so many. But if it was really pushed to nominate 3, I would say number 1, The Curse of Frankenstein, which was the first real Hammer horror movie that really got the ball rolling for them, and that, you know, started the great piece of cushion as Baron Frankenstein. Christopher Lee is the monster. I would say number 2 would be Dracula, again, starring Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. Christopher Lee, the greatest Dracula ever, and I mean the greatest Dracula ever. Nobody's come near him, anywhere near him. And don't get me started on that bloody Gary Oldman Dracula. I hated that. But yeah, Christopher Lee. And the third one would be now. There's so many. I would say if I didn't want to name another Dracula or Frankenstein, I would say possibly The Devil Rides Out as a third choice. One of the greatest black magic Satanism movies I've ever seen. Yeah, so I'd say number 1, The Curse of Frankenstein. Number 2, Dracula, 1958, Christopher Lee, maybe a year after The Curse of Frankenstein. And then The Devil Rides Out, yeah. So, but very, very difficult because I love all Hammer films. There was only 1 or 2 I didn't like. The one I didn't like was that one, Demons of the Mind. That was the worst one. I didn't like that at all. And I wasn't too keen on the one piece of cushion when he the kung fu elements, the Legend of the 7 Golden Vampires. I watched that a few times, guys. I didn't like the bloody boring kung fu, fight scenes and that. I didn't like that. So, but yeah, I love Hammer films. All Things Film saying my channel is very small, and I had a comment a few weeks back, and I had a comment, and they call me the C word, bloody swines. But I didn't give them any time of day, so I just reported them, blocked them. That's the only way to deal with circus clowns. Do what you just said. Report them and block them and delete them. Just get them out of your ether. You know, as far as I'm concerned, they're just big mouth circus clowns. They just make fools of themselves. They're nobody. They're losers. They'll never be anybody. So they get the stupid kicks out of going on people's YouTube channels and trying to ruin it for not only for the person that's hosting, for all the subscribers as well. Yeah. So they're not wanted. So they're just nobody. You know. All Things Film. As you love anthologies and ghost films, what would you say is the worst 2 ghost films you've seen, and the 2 I'll have to think about this one because I've seen loads of bad ones in my time. The 2 worst ghost films you've seen and the 2 worst anthologies you've seen. Well, if I can name one bad ghost film, well, if I suppose you could it's more of a witch movie. Yeah, I didn't like the Blair Witch Project. I wasn't a big fan of Paranormal Activity. It's too much. I don't like found footage. Don't like them at all. So, and what about the two worst? I've seen loads of them. Those anthologies. I've seen even ones that, yeah, low budget ones, too numerous to mention. So I'd have to think about that. The two worst horror anthologies I've seen. I'd have to give that some thought. Richard saying, watched X the Unknown on Talking Pictures last week. I haven't seen that one. It's pretty similar to the Quatermass, isn't it? The Hammer Quatermass movies. I'll have to check that one out. Am I Dead? Yes. I think I've recommended it before, but have you watched Ghost Story from the early 70s with Marion Faithfull? That's a really creepy anthology. The stories with the insane asylum and the one with the doll. Ghost Story. There was one, I don't think it might be the one you mean. There's one where all the Fred Astaire was in, based on the Peter Straub novel Ghost Story. Is that the one you mean? Because if that's the one you mean, I wasn't too keen on that one. The book was Peter Straub wrote the novel Ghost Story. Didn't like that either. But you might be meaning another one, Ghost Story from the early 1970s. Not too sure. Brian's asking me if you could do an audio commentary for any horror film, what would it be? Oh, now you're asking. Oh, God. Loads and loads and loads, Brian. But I think if it was pushed, I would probably say Dracula, Christopher Lee from 1958, yeah. And if second choice would be Boris Karloff, Frankenstein, 1931. That was the movie that got me into horror. Boris Karloff playing the Frankenstein monster. As I say, I've said it before many times, Boris Karloff was number one Frankenstein monster, and the actor that got me into horror films. But yeah, Dracula, Christopher Lee, but there's many more, and Boris Karloff, and the third one, the Wolfman, Lon Chaney Jr., the greatest Wolfman ever. So those three, yeah. But there's loads and loads of horror movies I'd love to comment on. Kevin's asking me, do you have the Curse of Frankenstein from the Warner Archive? That's supposed to be the best. I do. The best version. I've got that one, yeah. The Devil Rides Out is a classic. Yeah, I've got that one, Kev. Yeah, the picture quality's better. Yeah, the other one was a bit washed out. The first one I got a few years ago. I got that better one. Yeah, it's great. And the Devil Rides Out, well, yeah, what can you say about that? Christopher Lee played a goodie for once, wasn't he? Yeah, as was it the Duke de Richelieu, I think he was called. Yeah, oh yeah, great, that one, The Devil Rides Out. Yeah, the part where Satan appears in the woods and that, oh God, creeped me out, that when I first saw it and that. Great movie. One of the best black magic movies ever made, in my opinion. Am I Dead Yet? No, not one with Fred Astaire, that's a different one. Yeah, I thought it might have been a different one. Yeah. Kevin's saying some films these days have music that's too loud, yeah, and dialogue that's too quiet. That's one of the faults, yeah. I've mentioned this before about these modern horror films and that. There's too much loud music. The actors don't sound the lines properly. You've got to turn the telly up, and even then you can't hear what the bloody saying. They talk too quick. You know, there's a lot of junk getting made now, guys. Beyond the shadow of a doubt. Very, very rare you get a good horror film now. Among the rare good horror films I've liked has been like Megan was good. I like that. I like Terrifier. I like the Terrifier films. I like Wolf Creek. I don't know when they're going to make Wolf Creek 3. I think it's gone the way of the new Salem's Lot movie. No mention of it at all. You know. But yeah, very, very few horror movies. What I've said, I can honestly say I've enjoyed. You know. But yeah, I am a big fan of Terrifier films. All things film at Yam Yam. Speaking of Blair Witch Project, Alan, that's actually the worst film I've ever seen. I wouldn't argue with that. And the Blair Witch Project DVD, I'm literally using it as my coaster. Literally looks better with the stains on. Richard's saying, have you seen The Appointment with Edward Woodward? on BFI Blu-ray. It's excellent. The Appointments. Is that the one where he has a car crash in the woods and is there something to do with his daughter or something? Doesn't she predict it? I'm sure that's the one. Am I dead? Yes. One with Marion Faithfull. These old friends meet up at an old Victorian mansion. There's like 3 or 4 different stories. I'll have to check this one out about things that happened in the mansion. I wonder if that's available on DVD on Amazon. It's Ghost Story. It's called, from the early 70s. I missed that one. Marion Faithfull. I'll have to check that one out. Yeah, I'll be looking after on Amazon. Vampire Jack is asking me, Evil Dead 1, 2, oh, right away, the first Evil Dead. Yeah, the one that was on the videos Nasty's list. That's my number 1 favourite Evil Dead. Evil Dead 2's okay, but it's like they don't like a sort of like it's separate. It was like in a parallel universe, wasn't it? Evil Dead 2. I did not like that bloody third one with the barbarian setting. I hated that. It was a load of bloody tosh, although I do know a lot of people like it. It's a Marmite one. I didn't like the going back to barbarian days. I don't like those period pieces, guys, in barbarian movies. They bore me senseless. I wasn't too keen on the Evil Dead Rise either. It done nothing for me, that movie. Although, again, a lot of people do like it. You know, it's got its fans, but it wasn't for me. I didn't like the series either. What I think the main failing with the series, they put too much bloody comedy in it. I don't like a lot of comedy in me horror. I only like comedy in horror movies when it's well done, when it's balanced out, like the Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein and American Werewolf in London was very, very well done. That's one of my all-time favourite werewolf movies, that American Werewolf in London. But I think when you're putting comedy in horror movies, I think you've got to be careful. You don't sort of like you've got to be careful the comedy doesn't outweigh the horror elements, if you know what I mean, But as I say, very, very difficult thing to do. But I'll definitely check that anthology movie I said before. It sounds really good. All Things Film saying, have you seen what's that? Divorce. Very low budget, great effects, bad acting, but the last 5 minutes or so, the music was so loud and the voice audio was so drained that I could not hear the audio. I haven't seen that one. Divorce, no. We've got a quarter of an hour to go, guys, so I'll be finishing at 10. So if you want to, I'll try and ask as many questions as, if you like to ask me and that, answer them. And feel free to discuss anything related to horror and that, any films, what you could recommend and that, try and get through as many comments as I can. And don't worry, the idiots are fully under control now. Yeah. Right, All Things Film. Divorce is a German horror, but English audio. Right. It's a film by Olaf. What's that? Olaf Itzenbach. Oh, I'll have to watch out for that one. Kevin's saying, if you like Karloff, please get Boris Karloff, the man behind the monster. It's funny you should say that. I'm thinking about getting that. Blu-ray, a great tribute to the great man, and over 3 hours of great and informative footage. Highly recommended. I'm going to get that one, Kev. Yeah, the man behind the monster. Yeah, it was on Amazon Prime, wasn't it? I seem to remember seeing it on Amazon Prime, but I want it in my collection. Yeah, I'll definitely be getting that. I love Boris Karloff. All Things Film says, Evil Dead 2013 for me. Absolutely love it. 10 out of 10 for me. Perfection. And Jane Levy is one of my favourite actresses. Yeah, right. Yeah, I know a lot of people do like that movie. Vampire Jack. I love all the Evil Dead movies on the show. Yeah, a lot of people do. Yeah, huge Evil Dead fans out there. All Things Film. I've sent you a little clip of my Blair Witch Project DVD coaster. Oh, thanks very much. Cheers. Vampire Jack. Night, dawn, or day? Night, dawn, or day? You mean Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead? Oh, definitely Night of the Living Dead. I wasn't too keen on Dawn and Day of the Dead. I think that they are overrated, them. Didn't do much for me, then. Richard Brown, Day. Night of the Living Dead's my favourite. Well, of course, that was the one that set the trend, wasn't it? All Things Film. I love Night of the Living Dead. Yeah, me too. Oh, the remake with Tony Todd. Yeah, I've seen the remake, but I did prefer the original from 1968. Sherry's saying, Alan, can't you screen the chats? Can't you screen the chat so they don't show? Well, I've got people helping me as moderators doing a good job so they don't show up on screen. I think that's what they get a kick out of, seeing us on screen. With yeah, there must be a way of any guys get any tips about screening them out completely so the comments, I can read through the comments and then don't show them. So if any guys have got any tips on how to do that, I'd much appreciate it. Don't want nutcases on my channel. Said this all along. Sherry saying Dracula, Dead and Loving It was a great horror comedy with Leslie Nielsen. Yeah, I've seen that. I seem to remember watching it on telly a few years ago. I don't remember so much about it, but it's similar to like what's the name? Isn't it Young Frankenstein? That's a great one. That Young Frankenstein. Yeah. So I'll most probably I'll end up getting that on Blu-ray. Dracula, Dead and Loving It eventually. I like Leslie Nielsen. Gina's saying, I enjoyed Return of the Living Dead. Yeah, very popular film with zombie fans, that one. Vampire Jacks is saying, is the Dead trilogy the only trilogy that has all been remade? I'm not too sure. Kevin, please get us, Alan. If you love Carl, I will, yeah. It's a gem. Yeah, I might treat myself this week. Goes and get some films I've never even heard of. If you get it from a director, it's a bit cheaper and it's on DVD too. I'll definitely get that, Kev. Yeah, I'll do a review of it when I get it. Thanks, mate. Am I dead yet? Yeah, what's your favourite horror comedy? My favourite horror comedy is, well, it's very close between Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein and American Werewolf in London. And I like Carry On Screaming as well. That's a good horror comedy because I think it's a good homage to the old Hammer films, you know. It's great, that one. But I Ain't Too Nice. Yeah, I love Carry On Screaming. All things film. I love most genres, but horror is by far. Sound like a sheep then. The best genre. Absolutely love horror. And there's so much you can do with horror. You're right, there is so much you can do with horror. And me being a horror writer, I'm always experimenting with in my stories and that, you know, particularly the books of short stories are published. I like to experiment with different elements of the horror genre. You know, you can have a ghost story set on a red hot day on a beach. It doesn't have to be in a haunted house, you know. Even James Herbert said himself, God rest his soul, many of my stories take place during the day, you know. Yeah, he was right. Like, there's a lot of his stories where he moved away from the crumbling castles and the gothic settings and that, you know, into everyday life. Yeah, so yeah, it's good. I get a good kick, a great kick out of experimenting with different layers of horror. You know, because you can have romance and horror, as we said before. You can have comedy, provided it's not done so it's not overdone. You know, you can just mix it all in with horror, can't you? Yeah, it's a great genre. A Vampire Jack's asking me, Alan, do you enjoy Japanese? I presume you mean Japanese horror. Yeah, there's a few I like. Yeah, The Ring, you know, The Grudge weren't bad. They weren't great, but they weren't bad. Yeah, one or two single Japanese horrors I've seen. I can't remember the names of them. There's one trilogy I'd like to see. I think it's a J horror. Is One Missed Call. And have you guys seen that one? One Missed Call. But yeah, there's some pretty good Japanese horrors and that. Yeah. Sherry's saying, and Leslie Nielsen played a character who buried Ted Danson in sand. Yeah, I know. Yeah, in one of the Creep Show and drowned him, but can't remember what TV show that was. It was an anthology, I think. Yeah, it was one of the Creep Shows, wasn't it? One of the segments in the Creep Show movies, if my memory serves me correctly. I remember that one well. Yeah. Good one there. Richard Brown's asking me favourite Susie Kendall film. Favourite Susie Kendall film? Easy. The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Closely followed by Torso. And the other one she made, Spasmo. Yeah. Love Susie Kendall. Yeah. But I did get a movie with her in for among the Christmas pickups called The Gambler. Was it The Gamblers? The Gamblers or The Gambler? I didn't like it. It was boring. Even though Susie Kendall, you know, she looked nice in it and that, you know, the story was pants. So I've flung it on eBay. Yeah, but oh yeah, I just wish she'd have made some more horror movies. Susie Kendall, beautiful looking girl, and you know, highly talented actress. And I just wish she'd have made more horror movies. And that she was great. She would have been good in the Hammer films. Susie Kendall. All things film. The only problem, Alan, is we can block them easily, no problem, but they will still come up on your side. All right. Try reading the comments before clicking on them, and if there are bad comments, yeah, I think I'll do that. Thanks very much. Cheers. Yeah, they're not getting space on my stream. I hate them. I don't like them going on other people's YouTube channels as well, ruining their streams. I don't like that, you know. And I share my fellow YouTubers like disapproval of that sort of thing. I don't like to see it, as I say, not only on my channel, I don't like to see it on other YouTube, my friends on YouTube, their streams get ruined by bloody big mouth, stupid trolls who've got nothing else better to do with their sad bloody lives. All things film with Yam Yam. Oh, this can help. They got some serious underlying problems. Anybody acts like that, any kind of, bullying, anything like that, they got some deep underlying problem, and they try to cover that problem up, trying to be all brash and mouthy and that. It doesn't work. It just falls flat, it's just sort of like just falls on stony ground with me, as far as I'm concerned. You'll never get the time of day on my channel. I don't like anything like that, Kevin's saying, if you like Leslie Nielsen, get Dark Intruder from Kino, a wonderful little horror movie and very entertaining. Yeah, I'll watch out for that one. Thanks, Kev. Am I Dead? Yes. Unpopular opinion, but I thought the horror comedy Vampire in Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy and Angela Bassett was hilarious. I haven't seen that one. I've seen trailers of it, but I haven't seen it in its entirety. Was hilarious. It was banned when it came out. Oh, right, yeah. Eddie Murphy, Vampire in Brooklyn. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Gina's saying, I've been enjoying your reviews of James Herbert's novel. Oh, thanks very much, Gina. Yeah, I'm glad you liked them. Yeah, I'll be doing another one in a couple of days and that. Yeah, I love James Herbert. I could talk till the cows come home about Jim and the great influence he had on me, taking up horror writing myself and that, Oh, yeah, so many classic novels and that, and as I say, I think I've done him justice in my reviews so far anyway of his novels and that. Yeah, still missing to this day, as the legions of many other Herbert fans must, and I always used to look forward to a new novel coming out, and that used to get all excited and that, especially in the early days when he wrote those blockbusters like The Rats, The Lair, The Fog, The Dark, absolute classics of horror. Yeah, oh yeah, fantastic. I don't think he'll ever be better, Jim, when it comes to writing good old British horror, in your face horror. Brian, it's a Shari Ellis. It was the film Creep Show. That's it. Yeah, that was the one. The Leslie Nielsen. Yeah, bury him in the sand. Richard Brown, Vampire in Brooklyn was great. Right, guys, we've got a couple of minutes. 4 minutes. Yeah, so I'll try and get through as many comments as I can before I love you to leave us all, for tonight. But yeah, as I say, just fire away and that, say like I'll answer get through as many comments as I can before I close at 10. It's been good anyway, apart from the screwballs. Right, all things film. There are some call-off pictures of films that I'd like to see, but I don't know what the films are. Could I send you the pictures of them? And if you know the film, could you tell me which? Yeah, by all means. Yeah, I'll have a look at them. Yeah, cheers. Thanks. All things with. Thanks, Alan. No problem. No problem at all. Vampire Jack, I Can Care. Vampire in Brooklyn. Right. Shari saying, the problem I noticed with Japanese horror, they all seem to feature a girl with long hair or long black hair, yeah, and water. I know what you mean, yeah. Bathtubs, walls, etc. It's a bit stupid. I know what you mean, yeah. You've hit the nail on the head, yeah. That recurring water elements, yeah. I know exactly what you mean, yeah. And get a bit samey after a while, can't it? Like it's like the haunted house tropes, isn't it? Jump scares and that. You see that you could be sitting in front of a mirror, brushing the hair, and a figure goes past. Seen it all before, It's very, very hard now, guys. So I'm sure you'll agree. It's very hard now to make a good horror film that really scares you, and it stays with you long after you've left the cinema or what, close, switch the Blu-ray player off or whatever. Very, very difficult. to make a good scary horror movie. So much has been done before, hasn't it? Same applies to novels. So much has been done before. And I know myself as a horror writer, there's been so much been done before. It's really, you've got a real task on your hands trying to come up with a good story that you think will scare people. So everybody's got different levels of being scared, haven't they? Vampire Jack was good, right? Yeah. Kevin's saying, have you seen Lake of Dracula, Alan? I've got it on the Arrow. It's a Bloodthirsty trilogy. They're all Japanese vampire movies. Yeah, it's good, that one. Yeah, it's Japanese and really creepy. It's good. Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. Yeah, I like Lake of Dracula. Yeah, I've got 2 other movies with it as well. Yeah, so I'm really made up with that. Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, talking of Dracula, I've ordered the Andy Warhol one, Blood for Dracula, and Flesh for Frankenstein, so they'll be included in my next pickups. Yeah, I never got round to seeing them when they released in the mid-70s. Blood for Dracula and Flesh for Frankenstein. So I'm looking forward, to checking those out. Am I Dead? Yes, Richard Brown. It sure was. Thought it was so funny when it came out, right? Brian Gilson, Am I Dead? I really enjoyed that too, right? All Things Film at Yam Yam. I have 1 missed call on DVD and the American remake, but I've not seen either of them. Okay. Shari saying, I would class American Psycho as a dark horror. Yeah. I laughed more than I reviled. Yeah, I liked the movie, but I couldn't get into the book at all. There was too many descriptions about food and that, going on about like what they were having for dinner and that, and then other long, flowery, descriptive passages. I couldn't get into the book at all. A lot of people couldn't. Shari Ellens are okay. Thanks, Brian. We've got Gina. Dark Intruder is very good, but it's hard to get on DVD, right? And the last comments of the night before it closes from Brian. You're very welcome. All right then, guys. Well, that's about wraps it up for tonight. I'd like to say a huge thank you to everybody who turned up. I really enjoyed talking to you all about horror and that, and I do apologise for the odd bloody empty heads who brazenly came on tonight and tried to sink the ship. Well, you just won't get the light of day, and we'll be watching very, very carefully when I do my next live stream, as my moderators will. You're not wanted in this channel, so just clear off, crawl back into whatever stinking hole you crawled out of. Yeah, we don't want your garbage on my channel. But to all the good people who took the time to tune in and leave the comments, that a huge thank you. I really enjoyed it, and that, and I hope to be back again very, very soon. It won't be next week, but maybe the week after. I don't know. Just depends on fixing that, me writing and that, so I've enjoyed it, guys. That, and as I say, I hope it hasn't been spoiled for you too much by the bloody nutcases. Yeah. Okay, guys. So I'm going to love yous and leave yous all now. I'm going to go down and get myself some supper. Maybe watch a Blu-ray before I go to bed. Thanks very much, guys, and have a nice weekend. And I always say this: if you go to do any Blu-ray hunting or DVD hunting, I hope you manage to pick up some bargains and some good movies. All right then, guys. Take care of yourselves. Have a nice weekend. Bye for now. Bye.